Imagine living in a world where leaders are distant, making decisions that affect your life without ever understanding your true needs. Have you ever felt this disconnection? Have you ever wished that someone in power really walked alongside you, understanding your pains and aspirations? In the heart of the vast Roman Empire, one man decided to break down this barrier. He wasn't content to rule from an isolated throne. Instead, he put on his sandals and walked across unknown lands, facing stormy seas and challenging mountains. That man is Publius Aelius Hadrian, the traveling emperor who led Rome to its apogee. Hadrian understood that an empire is not sustained by military power or wealth alone, but by the genuine connection between leader and people. His journey is proof that empathy and close leadership can transform realities, resolve conflicts, and leave a lasting legacy. So let's embark together on this inspiring journey through Hadrian's life, exploring how his origins and experiences shaped not only an emperor, but also a visionary who profoundly influenced the world we know. But before we dive into this incredible journey, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. That way, you won't miss any of our videos about the fascinating history of the Roman Empire and its leaders who shaped the world. Adriano's journey begins. Our story begins in Italica, a city in the province of Hispania, on January 24th, 76 BC. It was there that Publius Aelius Hadrian, the son of a Roman senator, was born. From an early age, Hadrian was immersed in Roman culture and education. But fate had a different path in store for him. At the age of 10, following the premature death of his father, Hadrian was sent to Rome. Under the tutelage of his first cousin Trajan and Trajan's influential wife, Plotina, the young man immersed himself in his studies. Plotina, a woman of great wisdom, realized Hadrian's potential and encouraged him to explore literature, philosophy, and especially Greek culture. This passion for ancient Greece not only shaped his personality, but would also profoundly influence his future decisions as emperor. The military and political rise of Hadrian. At the age of 15, Hadrian began his military career. Serving as a tribune in 3 different legions, he showed skill and dedication. During the reign of Emperor Nerva, Hadrian was the messenger in charge of informing Trajan of his adoption as heir, further strengthening his ties with the future emperor. When Trajan took the throne in 98 AD, Hadrian was at his side. He took part in the campaigns in Dacia, showing courage and strategy. His rise through the ranks was rapid, from quaestor in 101 AD to praetor in 106 AD, culminating in the consulship in 108 AD. But it wasn't just his military skills that stood out. Hadrian was a cultured man, passionate about the arts and architecture, which set him apart from many of his contemporaries. The road to the imperial throne. In 117 AD, during campaigns in the east, Trajan fell seriously ill. With no biological children, the succession was uncertain. Plotinus once again played a crucial role. She claimed that Trajan had adopted Hadrian on his deathbed, guaranteeing his legitimacy as heir. However, rumors and controversy surrounded this adoption. Some questioned the veracity of the act, suggesting that Plotina could have influenced events in Hadrian's favor. Regardless, with the support of the army and political allies, Hadrian was proclaimed emperor on August 10th, 117 BC. The reforms and innovations of a visionary emperor. Upon assuming the throne, Hadrian faced immediate challenges. Instead of expanding the borders even further, as Trajan had done, he chose to consolidate the empire. His vision was one of stability and peace. one of his first actions was to cancel all unpaid debts owed by Roman citizens to the state treasury and the Senate. This measure brought financial relief and increased his popularity among the people. In addition, Hadrian reinforced the borders, invested in infrastructure, and promoted administrative reforms that made the government more efficient. The emperor who traveled the Roman world. But before we go any further, tell me, have you heard the untold stories about him? Let us know in the comments what you know or want to know about this remarkable moment in the Roman Empire. But what really distinguished Hadrian was his restlessness. He wasn't a cabinet emperor. Determined to get to know his empire personally, Hadrian spent more than half of his reign traveling. In Britannia, after facing revolts, he ordered the construction of Hadrian's Wall in 122 BC, a fortification that stretched for 117 kilometers, marking the northern border of the empire and protecting it from barbarian invasions. In Egypt, he admired the ancient wonders and immersed himself in the local culture. In Greece, he took part in games and festivals, reinforcing his admiration for Hellenic culture. These journeys were not merely symbolic. Hadrian inspected works, settled disputes, established alliances, and left his mark through construction and renovation. Works that defy time. Hadrian was a lover of the arts and architecture. In Rome, he rebuilt the Pantheon, which had been destroyed by fire. The new structure, with its majestic 43-meter diameter dome, remains to this day a testimony to Roman ingenuity. He also built the Villa Adriana in Tivoli, an imperial residence that combined architectural elements from different parts of the empire. With gardens, swimming pools, libraries, and banqueting halls, the villa reflected his refined taste and admiration for cultural diversity. These works were not only demonstrations of power, but also of cultural integration, celebrating the various traditions under Roman rule. The conflicts and shadow of the Jewish rebellion. In 132 BC, Hadrian visited Jerusalem, a city still scarred by the destruction of the First Roman-Jewish War. Determined to transform the place, he ordered the city to be rebuilt as a Roman colony, renaming it Aelia Capitolina. He also planned to build a temple dedicated to Jupiter on the sacred site of the ancient Temple of Solomon. These actions were seen as desecrations by the Jewish population. Under the leadership of Simon Bar Kokhba, a massive revolt against Roman rule began. The rebels achieved significant victories, establishing an independent state for a brief period. Hadrian responded with full force. He sent legions to suppress the revolt, resulting in a bloody conflict that lasted 3 years. It is estimated that around 580,000 Jews were killed, with more than 1,000 towns and villages destroyed. The consequences of a revolt. After suppressing the revolt, Hadrian took drastic measures. He banned Jewish religious practices, banished Jews from Jerusalem, and renamed the province Syria-Palestine in an attempt to erase the region's Jewish identity. These actions led to the Jewish diaspora, dispersing the people to different parts of the world and leaving deep marks on history. The final years and the search for a successor. But before we continue our journey, please leave a like for this video. This is very important so that YouTube continues to recommend our videos to you, and so that we can bring you more incredible stories from the Roman Empire. It's quick and free. Moving on. In poor health, Hadrian returned to Rome. With no biological children, he faced the challenge of choosing a successor. Initially, he adopted Lucius Aelius Caesar, but the latter died before taking the throne. Hadrian then adopted Antoninus Pius on the condition that he adopt Marcus Aurelius and Lucius Verus. This strategy guaranteed a stable line of succession and prepared the empire for the next generations. The legacy of an emperor. On July 10th, 138 BC, Hadrian died at the age of 62. He was buried in Hadrian's mausoleum in Rome, today known as Castel Sant'Angelo. His reign left a complex legacy. On the one hand, it was a period of relative peace, prosperity, and cultural flourishing. His architectural works and administrative reforms strengthened the empire. On the other hand, his actions in Judea left deep scars and raised questions about tolerance and governance. Reflections on an empire and its emperor. Hadrian was an emperor who sought to understand and unify a vast and diverse empire. His passion for culture, the arts and architecture brought significant advances. However, the challenges of governing different peoples and beliefs also highlighted the limits of imperial power. His life offers us lessons about leadership, ambition, and the complexities of governing a world in constant change. In the next video, Antonino Pio and the continuity of the legacy. We will explore the reign of Antoninus Pius. We'll see how he honored Hadrian's legacy, maintaining stability and preparing the empire for future challenges. Don't miss this continuation of our journey through Roman history. If you were inspired by Hadrian's story and want to continue exploring the fascinating chapters of antiquity, subscribe to our channel. Leave a like, share this video, and tell us in the comments what impressed you most about this emperor. Your participation is essential if we are to keep the flame of history alive. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time. See you in the next chapter of our story.